Hey y'all, welcome back to Poplar Creek Farm. I want to kind of give you guys some updates on some things we've been working on. One being our walkway. It's not staying like this. This is just the pea gravel that's down on top of the landscape fabric, and then we are going to be getting, what is it called? Stone dust. Pretty much like a really fine sand. That's going to go on top of this, and then our flagstone, and then a polymeric sand, which basically, oh, it's windy and cold, acts like a mortar and holds everything in. So as you guys see, it's almost April and we have snow. This is not atypical for New York, unfortunately. This is actually fairly common. Last year we had snow like end of April. I mean, it was like for a day. I don't even think it stayed the whole day. This started snowing overnight Saturday night into Sunday and snowed a lot yesterday, but it's already starting to like blow off and it's gonna melt. I think by Thursday it's 60. Oh, it's freezing. So my husband got my garden gate done and I love it. On either side are grape plants, which I had over at the, along the garden gate before, and we were able to pretty much reuse all the material. But I just want to show you guys kind of what I'm planning for the garden this year, where I plan on putting everything, general layout. Now, I am not somebody who, like, I've drawn up plans for my garden before, and I never stick to them, ever. I don't know, I just can't do it. I'm just not, that's not my personality. That's not my type of brain. I don't think like that, so that doesn't work well for me. I typically just kind of fly by the seat of my pants and do it, and it typically works out. Strawberries, bare root strawberries are planted in here. I did want to mulch them before we got snow, but that didn't happen. But at this point they were still bare root, and so they should be okay. Let's see. I also planted some elderberries that came, elderberry bushes that came, so we'll see. Garlic is all right here, where you can see like the really white snow. That's garlic. It started to pop up and it was doing pretty good. So actually you can kind of see, I'll bring you guys down, and you can kind of see some of it popping through the snow. So you can see the garlic right there and right there popping through the snow, but it is all mulched. So these were mulched obviously in the fall when I planted them with straw. They're coming up now, which is normal for them. So if you can kind of see beyond this really white snowy area, which is just because it sticks to this little border, is some green. That's gonna be the start. I think that's gonna be mostly like start of some brassicas. I'm gonna do some more brassicas here, and then I'll probably do my onions, because this is stuff that like I'll be planting all together, like the cool weather stuff, and then this is stuff also I can replace for the fall, for cool weather planting. And then I'm gonna do all my tomatoes. I'm gonna do a couple long rows of tomatoes with the cattle panels, and I'm also gonna use some regular tomato cages this year because I don't want to buy a whole bunch more. I'm trying to do more tomatoes. I don't want to buy a whole bunch more cattle panels. They've gone up in price. But I do want to do some cattle panels here, and that will also help shade some of these brassica things as it starts to get really hot in summer. The sun, so that way south, so they'll kind of get shaded a little bit, because the sun rises this way and comes across the garden kind of diagonally. And then I'm gonna do flowers. So pretty much after this section over here, I'm gonna be doing like flowers almost every other row, as much as I have. Oh, I'm also gonna do some sunflowers over there, because I want to help the pollinators. I want to do some cut flowers this year. Nothing crazy. I'm not doing like fancy flowers. I'm not like starting seeds inside. It's just gonna be like for fun, and for beauty and all that. But I also just want to have like, I have a huge garden. Like this is huge. It's like 15,000 square feet. So I don't need every inch of this being food, as much as I want as much as possible as food, especially this year because, I mean, everybody knows there's food shortages, prices are really high, my grocery bill has doubled. So I really just want to try to have as much coming out of here and just sell a lot more produce. But then I'm gonna do like flowers, beans, flowers, beans, flowers, beans, until the last bit of my garden is gonna be all of my potatoes. So I'm planting, I ordered 100 sweet potato slips. Now some of them my sister's gonna take, but the rest is gonna be, oh, and some squash here. I'm only doing zucchini here, I'm only doing my summer squash here. The rest of my squashes are going up to my parents' land. All my winter squashes, pumpkins, things like that are all gonna go up to there. And corn is gonna be up there. But I did order 100 sweet potato slips. I'll probably plant 90 of them because my sister's gonna take like 10. And then just regular potatoes. And that'll all be at that end. So it's gonna be a lot of beans, a lot of tomatoes. I'm doing a lot of onions though, a couple hundred onions. That's my general plan. I have some like other random things I'm planting. Like somebody sent me some okra and I'm really excited to plant okra. I've never planted it. Obviously in New York, it's not something we like grow readily. Lettuces, things like that I'll plant as well. And then once like the brassicas come up, I'll re-sow. So I plan on doing a lot of like succession sowing. So like if I have one row of my gold rush beans, the next row over will be flowers, and then I'll have like an empty row that I'll plant in another 2 weeks from that first gold rush bean. Or half a row or something. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it. In my head I have ideas, but this is why I'm not good at this. I'm not good at like the spatial, like figuring out how much space everything needs, and actually having that be right. Like I'll think, oh yeah, I got all this room, and then I go to actual plant, I'm like, oh, I got no room. I should have plenty of room. But for succession sowing, you want to make sure you have like open rows for that, you know, kind of plan for it. So like I said, it might just be half rows, but we'll see. So I'm heading back inside now because it's like 20 degrees with like, I don't know, it's probably 10 degrees wind chill. It's freezing. My hands are cold. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Remember, we're growing today for a better tomorrow. Please like and subscribe and join me on the next one.